Rathael is a land full of magical people, fantastical creatures, and mystical kingdoms. It is studded with ancient ruins left behind by a long-lost civilization.
It had always been a peaceful realm.
That is, until 12 years ago. The Legion came down from the stars and began to colonize the planet. Their expansion was swift and brutal. Caught on the back foot, the kingdoms of Rathael united and forged the Rathaelian resistance. The warriors and princeps of the resistance fought valiantly.
Within a year, they pressed the Legion back to their stronghold. Sadly, their final assault ended in tragedy. The resistance shattered, and the kingdom turned to isolation.
It has been 12 years, and a new generation is beginning to see the need for another resistance. The Legion has been attacking towns again. The kingdoms are sending out invitations to balls, and the wilds have been getting stranger and stranger.
You, the princeps and warriors of factions at odds, will clash, quarrel, and flirt to sway Rathael in your favor. Dun, dun, dun.
And then swords clashing.
And
Pew.
swords.
Ching, ching, pew, pew.
And there's lasers.
Title screen.
Welcome, everyone, to another special episode of Trials and Trebuchets.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi.
Happy birthday to Kharla, because this is
Happy
another
birthday,
Kharla.
It's my birthday!
Yes,
oh my gosh,
today.
I'm 500 years old!
500
Oh my god, you're
years.
so old.
That's a big one.
It's my 111th birthday.
It's a big 500.
It is pretty big.
We can't fit like that many zeros on a cake.
Yeah. There's too
Why
many-
That's a lot
not?
of candles.
The
Too many
candles are
zeros.
really big.
Yeah.
The problem is we
It's
were
a-
trying to
it's
spell
law.
the word 500 out, but like you start in like the middle of the cake, and then you have to like squish the drid together really tiny, and it just looked like a blob.
Today we're playing For the Honor,
By Quinn Vega.
inspired by Shira and the Princess of Power, by Quinn Vega. Thank you, Quinn Vega, for making a
Thank
fun
you.
Thank you, Quinn Vega.
Thank you.
game. This is another interesting little game that requires some introduction so that people know what the hell we're doing. And Kharla, since you are the birthday girl, why don't you take it away?
I am tasked to do this. So, this game, I actually practiced this in a shower, so hopefully it
Oh my
translates.
god.
So this is another GM-less game, and basically the premise has to do with a place called Rathalia, which I guess in Shira is basically what
That's not what it's called.
Etheria
Rathael.
is what Etheria
We can't agree
is.
on how it's pronounced, so we have to deal with. You have to deal with us all saying it differently. Apparently,
Yeah.
Rathalia, Rathalia.
It's definitely not
you know-
Rathalia, Kharla. There's no A at the end.
the Wraithrin world.
That's what they've always wanted.
Okay. So, this is a GM-less game, and basically the premise is you are a bunch of people that can be from 4 different factions. You can be from the Legion, you can be from the Kingdom, you can be from the Wilds, and you can also be from the Resistance. And within that faction, you are able to choose a trait for your character. Like you can be idealistic or funny if you're with the Resistance.
Yeah.
Or you can be conflicted if you're with the Legion, and all that cool stuff. And then you can also choose a bunch of abilities that you can do, which you can be a baker, but you can also like be invisible and stuff like that.
Invisible baker.
That should have been my
Invisible
character.
baker.
And those are like the individual traits for the characters we're gonna play in this game, right?
Yes.
And like naming them
So-
and giving them an appearance and everything. And we'll introduce those in a second. But what's the actual structure of the game we're gonna play, right? How's that work?
So the game works through mini games, and within those mini games, you can choose from a bunch of mini games. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
favorite
7,
part
8,
Of
9,
the
10,
Kharla
There's
intros
11.
is when she just counts however many things are on her screen.
There's 11 different kinds of mini games, and from my understanding, you can choose from any of them, and you will ask a bunch of questions that can on like how you will go through that game.
Yeah, you ask a bunch of questions, and the point is to essentially make some scenes together, following those prompts, answering those questions, role-playing as your characters, and trying to essentially string together those minigames into a story that at least resembles a 3-episode arc in a cartoon sci-fi show, right? Similar to what you would see in She-Ra. And the game has a couple of like guiding principles that I think we should read out. We have 4 guiding principles to keep in mind as we play.
The first of the 4 guiding principles is be curious. Ask questions about the things that interest you. Follow the things that excite you. You.
The second The second principle is to be a fan of other characters. So cheer them on, support their choices, love on them because they're great.
Woo! The third principle is to play loose, invent things on the fly, and leave space for ideas to come. Keep the fiction fluid.
The last principle is to get messy. Fling your character into hasty actions, foolish romances, and complicated friendships.
Hell yeah. And finally, just a small note to keep everyone on the same page, speaking directly to one player in particular. Death. There's no death in this game because it's a fun, lighthearted cartoon.
I'm gonna live forever!
The worst thing that could happen is that the characters are knocked out or moderately injured. They can't die. It's a light and fun game like Popcorn.
Popcorn is a very light and fun game.
Yeah. And so with that,
Just
should
like the
we
snack, I
introduce
guess.
should we introduce our characters?
I think we can.
Yeah.
That's the next most logical step to pursue in this.
Yes, it is quite so, is it not?
Tis.
All right, Kharla, start us off then. Who are you going to be playing today?
Okay, so my character is Iridessa. She uses the pronouns she, her. Her faction is the Resistance. She is from a place called the Hidden Skylands, and I would like to clarify that this is spelled as Skislands because these are islands in the sky.
Ooh.
It's not a Skyland, it's Skylands.
Yeah. Her traits are she's fiery, she's moody, and she is loyal, so she is me. Her abilities are the 2 greatest things, lightning and glitter. Iridessa has light brown skin with warm undertone. She has pastel blue hair that's pulled back and braided down all the way to the middle of her back. She's wearing a gold headpiece that is embossed with small blue gems. And I would describe it as similar to She-Ra's headgear, but instead of the wings that she has, it's going to be like lightning.
Yeah.
So it could definitely I look like super speedy, but I am actually not speedy. It's just that I have lightning powers.
Yeah.
As for her clothes, she's wearing an embellished pink faux leather jacket on top of a white glitter jumpsuit. And this is my favorite. If you come close enough, she smells like burnt grass.
I love the smell of burnt grass in the morning.
What a pleasure to be around you are, Iridessa.
And she has a tendency also to be staticky. So she has like frizzy hair and stuff like that. And then you will see if you come close to her that there is some tiny lightning specks emanating off of her. So you have to be careful. And so Iridessa is part of the royal family of the Hidden Skylands. And her family is one of the first kingdoms to have joined the Resistance in order to fight off the Legion. So that's basically like her premise. That's who she is. She's the princess of that home.
Oh, so she's Princess Iridessa.
She's Princess Iridessa of the Hidden Skylands.
Cool.
Pog.
She's
Ben,
very pog.
Why don't you go next, Ben?
You want me to introduce my character next?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. We always do clockwise, so let's do
Counterclockwise.
counterclockwise.
And here I thought I was going to be the last one to go, but
No, never, Ben. You're always second.
yeah.
Such is the nature of things.
Yes. So I'm playing a character named Jessie. Her
Yes.
pronouns are she, her. And
Yes.
like Iridessa, she is also part of the Resistance. Her traits are she's fiery, she's naive, but she's also scrappy. And her abilities are magnets and grappling. So Jessie stands at about 5 feet 1 inches. She's got some dark, like auburn red hair done up in a large ponytail. She's got some light honey skin. Her face consists of multiple freckles all across, and she has a pale, thin white line of face paint that goes along her nose and underneath her eyes there. And her eyes are a deep blue. And she is from the scrapyard, a place where she basically grew up in, and is just a place in a recluse valley covered in recyclable parts from various mechana and all sorts of stuff you could find there. It's basically like a glorious trash heap, almost.
That's a really good way of describing it.
So pretty much every building is made of up this scrap. Literally everything in these homes are recycled or scrapped. And she wields these handy dandy gadgets that she crafted herself. She's got her trusty grappling hook that she carries everywhere. And she's also equipped with some heavy magnet boots.
I love the magnet boots.
Which I think are pretty rad.
Magnet boots are fucking rad as hell.
Starts walking on top of a subway and then like
So she's pretty good with various pieces of scrap that she can just find lying around. Although the naivety of her character causes her to not quite grasp the true reality of war and suffrage caused by the Legion, even though she is doing her best to contribute as much as she can to the resistance at large.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Sarah,
we stand Jessie.
who are you? I love Jessie, quite frankly. But Sarah, who are you going to be playing?
Okay. My name is Princess Confecta,
Oh,
but you can just call her Confecta. Her pronouns are she, her. Her faction is the Kingdom. More specifically, she is from her home, the Candy Kingdom. Her traits are steadfast, blunt, and enthusiastic, and her abilities are candy and a custom one that I created called Rodeo. So what I have here is Confecta, often equipped with her Swedish fish mount Berry, is somewhat of a candy cowgirl. She dons braids in alternating stripes of cotton candy pink and blue, candy button freckles, so that's, freckles in the same color as candy buttons, and a wide-brimmed cowgirl hat. Confecta holds a giant swirly lollipop wand, so if I imagine, like, when I say giant, I mean like the size of herself, that she can either morph into a licorice lasso or use to shoot things like sweet projectiles, like jawbreakers, sticky candies to trap opponents, or bright candy sprinkles to make it harder for enemies to hide. The Candy Kingdom, a bright-colored place made of hard and soft treats galore, has had a policy of closing its doors to conflict and of strict self-reliance in the previous years. Will Confecta be convinced to join the resistance? Only time will tell.
Amazing. I adore Confecta.
I know.
I fucking love this dessert, like candy princess.
I was so close to be like doing ice cream, but then I was like, that is too sugary.
We're just playing Candyland.
Hell yeah, as we should be.
Oh man, that would have been weird. Anyway.
Okay, that's Princess Confecta. Up next, Sam. Who are you going to be playing?
So my character, I kind of was up editing my thing as well as people were talking because I realized, this is probably a good place to keep it all sorted.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of going down the list, my character's name is Slater, also known outside of the wilds as the Oracle. And that's a funny pun. You'll understand in a moment why. And they aren't actually a princess, they're actually a warrior of the wilds. Their pronouns are they, them. As I said before, they're part of the wilds. Specifically, they're from a place called the Pit, which is a very it's like a large ravine where into the walls they've dug out homes and shops, and it kind of goes down to where surprisingly the magic of the land has kind of made it possible for them to successfully grow little farms to keep the pit itself thriving and pretty self-sustaining. Their traits are they are kind, tough, and creative. And their abilities are stone and transformation.
Cool shit.
So Slater is a humanoid being. They're very tall. They're 6'4". muscular and tan from living in the wilds their entire life. They have yellow eyes and what looks like is long gray hair that they have tied to the back of their head. They dress in very basic survival wear for the wilds, which I kind of contributed to. Like, they have like pants with many pockets to hold all their various survival gear, so basically kind of like cargo pants.
Fuck yes.
But like cooler cargo pants, if that was even possible. And to keep themselves generally cool, they just wear like a black tank top because they don't have to worry as much about sunburns, though they do keep decent supplies on themselves. So I'm actually really proud of how I was able to figure out what their thing would be. If something dangerous comes along and they need to defend themselves, their hair kind of materializes and covers their entire body in like a stone like casing, which they can then manipulate into like a sharp or a blunt object, like a shield or like a makeshift sword if they need it, but it's not an infinite resource. So like if they're making a shield to protect someone, they are then putting themselves in danger because all of their casing has gone to like their hand or like their forearm to like protect something.
Good shit.
Which I like it a lot.
Yeah. So
I've already kind of explained the space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's Slater. I love them. They're
Hell
very
yeah.
cool.
Kind of lives off on their own. Oh, I think the only last thing would... Oh, sorry.
No, it's chill. Keep going.
Last thing, the surface is generally left alone, but that doesn't really stop the Legion from showing up randomly and kind of trying to get down into the pits of the ravine or the ravines nearby to try and steal the magic essence. And so it's kind of a discussion of like, does Slater stand by to protect their family and their community from being attacked by the Legion if they don't surrender these resources, which is slowly destroying their ecosystem, or do they stand up one day and finally start fighting?
We love a story where the villains do environmental damage. I know, Ben, you haven't listened to or watched She-Ra, but I do enjoy all of our fucking She-Ra OCs. This is an absolute fucking blast.
Yeah.
Like, I love Kharla just being like, yeah, she has like the headdress from what She-Ra has, and like all this other shit. It's like, it's very evident what we all enjoy. So,
well, I wanted like a melding between Mermista and between She-Ra because I fucking
you mean
love
like the Mermista,
so
the
good.
fan fiction
Best
Mermista
princess.
made up of like, yeah, this is me now.
So finally, I will introduce my character. I today am going to be playing the one and only Princess Kupra, who uses she, her pronouns. Princess Kupra belongs to the Legion. She is from the town or the city, I think, town, whatever word really works for it, of Karstyard, known for its prestigious chicken pedigree and golden eggs. It's a very highfalutin town, or at least it once was, but was the first place taken over by the Legion. And so she grew up kind of in the shadow of just that, as they kind of ripped down the trees and built giant industrial towers on the rocks nearby, kind of replacing the wonderful rock jungle with industry and war machines to further colonize the planet with. I imagine her always wearing, or I guess I should just go through my traits. Her traits are resourceful, conflicted, and friendly. And then her abilities are animals and tactics. So I always imagine her I imagine her with dark skin and like almost blackish hair, and always dressed in the Legion colors, which I have taken upon myself to create, as none of you are playing any Legion characters, which would be yellow and gray. But I imagine her always dressed in those colors in like a high-necked dress. Anywhere she goes, she carries with her a regular-sized silky chicken. For those of you who don't know, that's like the white silky chicken, like silky as in like silky textured with like the fuzzy feathers and everything. They're quite adorable. You should look them up. Who is named Java.
Java.
They're very
So cute.
Yeah, I think that she relies on her cunning and then the education granted to her by the Legion as she grew up here to thwart foes on the battlefield, as she has a place of or a position higher up in the Legion and commands some small fighting force against the resistance, and then just uses her natural friendly demeanor to win people over in alliances with other kingdoms and stuff like that, which is really just setting the stage for further subjugation down the line.
Alliances.
There were finger quotes in case you couldn't hear them.
As she goes and sees the wider world, because she'd only known Karstjard for so long and grew up kind of like in this war camp, as it were. I think that she's just kind of seeing like the devastation that has befallen the rest of this world, and kind of like not having second thoughts, but the hardcore belief of like there's a natural order of things and we are just better, and so they should just follow us, is definitely being broken apart of like, oh, are we the baddies almost? I don't think she would ever voice that to anyone at all, though, but it's there, a doubt lingering in the mind. And that's it.
It's very fun.
Awesome. I love these characters.
Oh, I'm very excited to play with everyone.
Yes. So, speaking of playing, what do we do now, Kharla? We freaking introduced all our characters. What comes next?
So, the next part is the prelude. Now, the prelude will be led by the last person who has seen a cartoon. And I do not know who the last person who has seen a cartoon was.
I watched the Owl House last night, but that was it.
I was watching cartoons last night while I was editing, or while I was supposed to be editing.
Oh boy.
I have been binging Bo Burnham stuff for a while now.
That's my favorite cartoon.
My favorite cartoon. I'll be genuine. I have not watched cartoons in a while.
I watched a Goofy movie the other day.
Oh, dang.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I have been watching YouTube videos, which is definitely not cartoon.
Okay.
You've been watching like those part 1 of 3 re-uploaded like TV shows, like, because that could count.
So in that case, I'll give it to you, Sarah, because you live in the West Coast, so you're probably watching them later than I was, because I actually started doing work at a certain point last night. Run us off in that prelude.
Okay, it says play this at the start of the section. You start and everyone plays along. So it looks like there is a list of questions. There are a bunch of different sections that relate to the various factions. And then you can choose a question and read it aloud to the players. And then people can suggest sort of answers. I will answer it. And then everybody will narrate a 2 to 3 sentence scene of their character reacting to this event, starting with the player to my left. Okay, let's see. What's a fun question?
Oh boy, there's so many options.
There's a lot. There's so many.
There's a fuck ton of these, yeah.
if you haven't
There's
looked at
like
these.
there's like 4 faction stuff
Yeah.
you can look under, and then each one has like 6.
Oh, I like
options.
this one because this could be fun. A kingdom has sent word that there will be a grand ball, and every princept is expected to attend. What is the theme of the dance? That's fun.
Oh boy.
What would be like a fun theme? Do y'all think?
A theme.
Noodles.
Noodles?
Noodles?
It's the grand. Is it the Noodle Kingdom?
It's
Yeah,
the
maybe
Noodle
there's
Kingdom.
like a noodle kingdom that's hosting this year.
Absolutely.
I like. You know what? I like that.
It's being hosted by Princess Ramen.
Oh, also, because this word got put in there, I don't think we explained it, and it doesn't explain it unless you read. The word princept is in here, and it's kind of like the gender-neutral version of just the word princess. All the princesses in this are using she, her, but just in case there is not, the princept is there. So if you hear that and don't know what it is, that's what it is. But anyways, Noodle Kingdom.
Noodle Kingdom.
A grand ball.
The
for
kingdom
Noodle
of New Delia is hosting a ball themed around noodles. And they're gonna they have all of these like noodle decorations. They have like, they have like spiral like chandeliers, but all of the little, like the little crystal things are like tagliatelle.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just
When you
stuff
first-
like that.
I was imagining like the noodle slides If anyone knows.
Oh, like a
Noodle
water,
slides?
like one of the noodle water slides.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, maybe they've
imagining that.
got one of those over at the party. Like if anyone wants to water slide, there's like a ginormous like spaghetti noodle that people can slip on.
I can imagine the columns like being like these really thick spaghetti, like uncooked spaghettis that are like, you know, the ridges of a column.
Yeah.
It will be that.
Oh, so it's not like a Liska spaghetti.
Yeah, no.
Fuck that.
Sarah knows way more about noodles than the rest of us. Sarah's like, here's a specific noodle. Oh, it's not a spaghetti, it's a spaghetti. And we're all like, yeah, Sarah, yep, 100%, whatever you say.
No.
linguine, or like an angel hair pasta. Yeah.
it
Udon.
has-
I just mean
it
it's
is-
grippy and not smooth.
Okay.
So that sauce can cling onto it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. We all know we're noodle experts. That's absolutely wonderful.
And then
Got
what
my
if
certificate up on the wall?
the princess there,
Princess
the bows
Pastina.
that
Princess Pastina.
Princess Pastina, that's her name.
That's amazing.
Princess Pastina's brother, Prince
Tortolino.
Tortolino.
Tortellino.
I love it.
Tortolino has like the ribbon noodles for a bow tie.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yes.
Bow tie pasta.
Oh, I wonder if they've got like welcome to the ball, but it's like alphabet soup letters.
Oh my god. I love
What if it's welcome to the meatball?
Aww.
I love the range.
Never mind, remove that. No.
Why?
No, I like it. I like it. I like
Staying.
it.
This is the meatball. Welcome to the meatball.
The meatball. Welcome to the meatball.
Wait. Welcome to the meatball. What if someone's what if it's one of those things where it's like, oh, we have to bring the princesses from all over the land
Yeah.
because the prince has to get married
Oh,
or someone has to get
no.
married.
Is that the case?
I don't know.
I think it's just a thing
I
where we
think
get together
it's-
and dance in the light of meat.
Yes, I think.
No.
And it is a possible area to create alliances.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the
yeah.
twin heirs to the kingdom, Princess Pastina and Prince Tortolino, have decided that the best thing to do to get all of the kingdoms together. I wonder if we're not entirely sure where their loyalties are, just because
Yeah.
they're a big kingdom. They have been very secretive about are they joining up with anyone? So people don't really know going in, which could be a little bit
I wonder if
super
it could.
insular.
I wonder if it's like
Yeah.
an ambush.
Yeah.
could be, but everyone's it's a ball. You gotta go to the ball.
Oh my gosh, it's a ball.
It's the princess rules.
Yeah.
It's princess law. You must go.
you have to go to the ball.
Princess
Yeah.
law.
So I guess
Okay.
everyone who's coming in is sort of feeling weird because they do not know what to expect. Are they going to get hurt?
Are they going to get hurt?
Are they,
Oh my god.
are they going to get hurt? Is this just like a ruse to get alliances? Is this just wanting to party because people want to forget about the war? Just
There's an air of
what's
suspicion
the
around it.
expectations
What's
Yeah.
the why don't we play? Are we supposed to play out? We're supposed to narrate.
So what happens next is that, starting with my left, I think that would be Ben,
Yes.
narrates a few scenes of your character is reacting to this news, whether it's preparing to go to the ball or something like that, and then everybody goes and they do the same thing of they narrate what they do next. Just a couple sentences. And that's I'm imagining it being if the meatball announcement is the opening scene, it's cuts over the sound of the royal announcer going, the prince and princess Pastina and Tortolino invite you all to the meatball. And as the narration plays, there's it cuts over to everybody
Yeah.
reacting or preparing in some way.
That's nice.
So what does Jessie do? In preparation, receiving news that she's been invited to the meatball.
So I think this would be really funny. So because the scrapyard is in the middle of a valley at the bottom,
Yeah.
I would say that she doesn't get formally invited. I would say that an invitation flew off of somebody and landed in the valley, and she just happened to find this invitation just lying in a pile of scrap, being oh my gosh, what's this? And
Yeah.
being wow, I can't believe I was invited. This is great.
Directly addressed to you. It's completely addressed to someone else, and you're just
like-
this is for me.
To whom it may concern.
Is for me?
is for me. But
There's and then there's actually like on like from far away, a princess just never gets invited.
Yeah.
yeah,
Large
oof.
scale political ramifications of Princess. Someone help me, Princess.
Princess salad bar.
Princess Salad Bar. Ben.
We're not all food.
There's just
This
no,
is
but there's like
Adventure
this,
Time.
this fraction of
Adventure Time
land
where
where
it's
it's all like different types of food.
Yeah, where it's like
And those are all the different
dessert
salad
princess, breakfast princess, everything. Like other things are allowed. Everyone,
Princess
get your minds off
cereal.
food.
Princess Waffle.
Okay. There's a desert princess somewhere with like sand magic.
yeah.
And she did not end up
That
getting
would make sense
invented.
because the valley is sort of like an arid region.
Yeah, Princess Dunella.
Princess Danella.
Dunella.
So yeah, she would just get this letter and also think, wow, I don't know if I have anything to wear. So she probably just puts on like whatever the best thing she has, which is like got holes in it.
The least
It's not
oily
great.
overalls.
It's like a ripped top that's supposed to be a dress, but like the bottom half is missing, but you've only got like one side, so it's like a weird
Oh my
it's like a
God.
weird like half dress thing.
Fuck yes.
But she still got her fucking magnet boots because she takes those everywhere, so it's like a weird like clashing fashion.
this is
And she like just grapples her way up the fucking walls of the valley.
amazing. Okay, Princess Iridessa.
So Princess Iridessa receives a letter from the Resistance saying that there is the Meatball happening in what's the place called?
The noodle or the Kingdom of Nudelia.
The Kingdom of Nudelia. And since Princess Iridessa is like one of the main princesses that is very much involved in the Resistance, she was chosen by the Resistance to be the one to represent them in the ball.
Mhm.
Obviously, like there will be like 5 more, but there's just like 10 princesses
Mhm.
that exists in the Resistance, and she hasn't been to the party in a long time, and she really did not like this this yellow dress that is hanging on her door. So she's like, I want to distress it, so I am going to shine my lightning towards it and burn it a little bit, make it a little bit more rugged. And then part of the gown that gets melted and is sticky, I'm going to throw holographic glitter on it.
Oh my god.
And
I love the glitter punk rock aesthetic of Iridessa, where it's like, I will only wear this ripped and torn up dress with glitter.
so I get ready for the ball, and then I wear my fishnet leggings, and I wear holographic high heels
Mhm.
and
Cool shit.
put my makeup on
Cool shit.
to go to the party.
The meatball.
Oh, and I also bring my bib
Okay.
so that I can peacefully have my noodles.
Yeah. I will go next, as I am the next in line. Princess Kupra is sitting in a metal chair in a extravagantly large room. Large wall hangings in yellow with a gray, evil-looking logo on them indicate that this is a Legion base somewhere. The envelope sits on this wide desk, and she kind of reads through it, smiling and looking at all the different just like rules that must be followed, like the different customs which must be observed when coming to Nudelia. All these things, especially since it's to her a princess who is part of the Legion. I think that she would put this letter down, look around. All around the room are just golden eggs on pedestals with single spotlights shining on them. Very evil lair looking. A single white chicken sits on the desk. Its silky plumage, resplendent and manicured. And she would pet it a few times before heading out to get on some sort of transport and be brought to Nudelia. Just generally excited to be, I think she looks excited to be involved in princess stuff, but like very subtly about like doesn't want to like let it out to like all the like grunt people that are outside as she walks through the base of this Legion or the hallways of this Legion base, right? Like internally, like, oh my God, I get to go to a princess party. I never get to talk to other princesses. But externally, knowing that this is a job for making alliances and other such things. We might even see a scene of her being told by some higher up that this is no time for playing around, all these other things. Like, you need to really get the Nudelian pair, the Nudelian princeps on the side of the Legion, right? This might be our only chance. And we don't know who else is going to be there. Yeah.
Who's next?
I think it's Sam, right?
Why the hell? How does Slater get an invite?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Because the pit has such a strong like magical root to it that it has like I said before, like a very like successful ecosystem. They're very self-sustaining. They also do trades with kingdoms, like obviously outside of the wild, which is unusual, but like they've obviously made some friends with just the kingdoms.
Yeah.
So maybe as an honorific of like, oh, we've been trading for a very long time, you are our friends, even though there isn't a proper like princeps in the pit, like we would like to cordially invite you and would there be like a +1, or is it just like the person itself?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think a plus.
I feel like there's no reason to not have a +1, right? It would only make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we're bringing, because like my character, like Slater isn't like the like head of the pit. They just kind of like work and protect it. So like maybe like the leader's child is the one who was invited, but because they're friends with Slater and they know that Slater can protect them if they leave the wilds, like that's how Slater ends up getting invited. So I imagine the day would kind of go, Slater gets invited to like the leader's house and is just kind of explaining the situation of by like the leader saying like, you're going to protect my child and go on this trip because we've been friends with these couple of kingdoms, and Nudelia is having a party, so you're going to like protect them, and then is quickly pulled aside by their friend who is like, we're gonna go to a party, we're gonna see princess, and we're gonna do all this fun stuff. And like they're like super excited about it.
What's the friend's name?
The friend's name is Amethyst.
Oh,
Amethyst is super excited.
Hell yeah.
And they're talking about like, I want to dress up in like my best clothes. I'm gonna wear these like nice earrings that I got a while ago. Like, I'm gonna be like the prettiest person there. I don't care if I'm not a princess.
good shit.
Aww.
I love the pit.
It's very cute.
It's very good.
Pit's a fun place.
Yes. Okay, so
And now
Confecta. So Confecta is brushing her Swedish fish berries scales in this like pastel room with like Campino chairs, if you guys have ever seen those Campino candies, and like fuzzy peach pillows, and then this little gumball assistant with these tiny little arms and legs. Like, its arms and legs are not out right now. It just like rolls into the room, and then it like pops its arms and legs out, stands, like produces the invitation. So Confecta, she points her like giant candy wand at the invitation, and she summons basically like a rope of like sticky bubble gum, which like clings to the invitation. She pulls back, and then she can like grab onto it and read it. She's sort of looking over it with like an excited grin, and she's like, "Come on, Barry, we're going to a dance." And she like raises her magic wand up into the sky, and her like currently she's wearing these like purple like denim overalls, and they like sprout like a hoop skirt on the bottom, so it's like an overall top, hoop skirt bottom. She shoots like these like cake sprinkles into the air, and they like land in her hair, and like they land on her outfit. They like catch around the rim of her cowgirl hat, and I think Confecta is ready to go.
Cool as fuck.
Party time!
Sarah has way stronger fucking branding than any of the rest of us, or rather Confecta has way stronger branding than any of the rest of us. Like, holy shit. Like, so fucking ready.
They are funded by so many companies.
So, like the entire fucking candy aisle.
Confecta, now brought to you by. Don't cut that.
I'm gonna cut that. Don't worry.
Cut
Well,
that,
it's about-
cut that.
this
No,
is
that's
thing
the
with
evil
villains.
one's up there.
Environmental damage. Yeah.
We have everything. We have candy. We have environmental security. We have a chicken.
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 Also, I have a little Texas logo on
Oh
my
my
notebook, and I feel like this is
fucking
very
God.
fitting
Oh
for
my
Confecta.
God, Sarah.
Perfect.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
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 All right.
Thank you, Emily.
So what comes next?
Well, I think we do the mini
Yeah,
game, right?
we choose a mini game.
Yeah. So we all.
And there's 11 of them.
There's so many mini games.
There's a ton of.
But then the
minigames.
10th, but I think the 11th one, from my understanding, is we only do that at a certain point.
Yes. Yeah.
Which one is that?
So technically, there's only 10.
The Stand United one is
Stand
only
United
for specific circumstances.
I see.
Yeah, it says when all the players are allied against a common foe,
Mhm.
then it is time to play the Stand United. But everything else is fair game.
Okay. So the scene being set is that we're all at this meatball. We've all arrived at the meatball in New Delhi.
I imagine Slater got like given like a hand-me-down from the leader
Amazing.
to like wear to the thing, and so it's tight in the chest but it's loose on the arms, and they're just kind of standing there like, I guess I'm comfortable right now, sure.
Cool shit. Okay. Is there a way to tell who goes with the first minigame? Is it just around the table in clockwise from the prelude person? From there you'll take
I
turns.
think we
around
just
the table.
decide like
freely
what
choose
we
anything.
feel
Okay.
is right.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
What do we think is like? I mean, there is
Yeah.
one for a dance, but we can also
Yes. Maybe I think we should hold off on that for a little bit, right?
Yeah, because we should have like introduce ourselves. And...
Should we roll for it?
But some of these might not fit, right?
I agree. We should do something where we like talk with each other and introduce our characters and get to
Okay,
role play a
okay.
bit. I think. Yeah.
Yes.
We could do crossing paths. That's like the first
Yeah,
one.
I
and then
Crossing
we've got, like, a
paths.
reunion.
Crossing paths looks like a good introduction.
I agree. Yeah. I was either
Okay.
thinking that one or mincing words, honestly. We should do crossing
And it
paths.
even says this is a quick
Yeah.
scene that can lead directly into another minigame.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right. So Kharla, why don't you lead us into crossing paths?
Okay. So in Crossing Paths, you're meeting each other for the first time in a long while. Where are we meeting?
The meatball.
Well, we should be.
The
Yeah.
meatball.
Are we all meeting? Or first of all, is everyone in this scene, Kharla?
I think that it would make sense for like them all meeting, but then they all did not intentionally want to meet. Like there's certain people that it makes sense for them to meet because they're sort of allies already. But then like people come across and you're like, oh my gosh, it's you. I remember growing up with you. But then you're part of the you're part of the Legion. Why are you here?
Yeah. So everyone's here. We'll just slowly trickle in, I guess. So are we meeting in like are we meeting like after we've gotten into the meatball in the like the grand pasta hall or whatever?
The
it might be
pasta
called?
hall.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's like, I've done that thing where like they announce the name of like the royal who's coming in. They're like, from the kingdom of blah blah blah, it's this person, and then people sort of are coming into this like general socializing area.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about if it was like a courtyard?
Ooh.
So it's like an
Oh.
open courtyard where the
It's like
ball's happening.
it's like the castle has like this giant open yard in like the center of it, and that's where the ball is being taken place.
Yes.
what
And you
are
can see
the-
the stars.
That's nice.
What's the pasta that's just like the wide, long tube one that's really short that has like angled
Penne?
edges? Penne.
Penne.
I imagine the
Penne.
castle is just a half a penne sticking up.
Half a
So-
penny.
It's only one.
That's a pretty
it's
cheap
only
castle.
One, though. It's just one big tower.
Damn.
So it's just like this slanted, and in the center it's just like open essentially with this giant curtain wall. So we're just outside in the night air.
So it's sort of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but like
The Leaning Tower of Penne.
Leaning Tower
The
of
Leaning
Penne.
Tower of Pasta.
Hey.
So that's where we're all meeting.
Yeah.
Next, ask your counterpart, where did we last see each other? So,
Ooh.
Iridessa.
Who is your counterpart?
Yeah, set the scene for us all.
So the announcer of the party,
Yeah.
Mr. Tuglatelli, was like, "Hear ye, the princess from the oh my gosh, I forgot my own place.
Oh shit.
The Hidden Skylands.
The princess from the Hidden Skylands is here, Princess Iridessa, and her companion, Jimothy."
Jimothy.
Oh my god. Jimothy. Jimothy makes a return appearance.
Jimothy is eternal.
Oh my god.
Jimothy
Oh.
is never truly gone.
And there's a new addition. The next person. Who is this? Jessie? Princess Jessie?
Howdy, that's me. Although I think
Uneasy
the card's
claps.
a little wrong. There might be a typo on it. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah. So
Because I'm imagining that there's like someone passes cue cards to them to read, but then like Jessie just gives Mr. Tagliatelle like an own written name of hers.
It's like, where the heck
where
did
it's
the other
like,
princess
it's not
go? What happened?
the announcer continues and just introduces everyone, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
So Jessie, why are you here?
So I'm gonna assume that's after the announcer had like announced everything, and Jessie's just like has a plate of spaghetti, and she's got like a mouthful of spaghetti, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're a
For those that can't see us, Ben is actually eating a plate full of spaghetti right now.
Oh, sorry, I had a lot of spaghetti in my mouth. Iridessa, it's been so long since I've seen you. How you been?" And she's like goes into hug.
Hi. Stop putting spaghetti on my.
Oh, sorry. I
my
got
shoulder.
I got a little bit on there, but that'll buff right out.
When was the last time we saw each other? It's been so long.
I guess since the last time the Resistance actually had like a stable meeting. I probably shouldn't say that out loud.
I thought we had meetings at the castle. I didn't know that we had meetings in the stable.
when
Boo.
Jessie says, "I probably shouldn't say that out loud," I think the camera like racks focus to Kupra in the back, like Princess Kupra in the background, who just like takes a sip of what would be served as a drink at this.
Pasta water.
Ew! It's like the leftover water when you
know,
boil
right?
pasta. Ew!
Yeah. It's great
But
in
it's, like,
pasta sauce,
sparkling.
to be fair, because of the starch.
Yeah, but it's not great to just drink by
Is it
yourself.
still going to be warm?
Kupra
They
takes
iced
Oh
it,
my
don't
god,
worry.
you. Yes.
Kupra takes a large sip of this murky pasta water, murky salty pasta water, and kind of makes this like a squished face as she just eavesdrops on this conversation that's happening as Jessie and Iridessa reacquaint with one another.
Next up is Princess Confecta.
This is still going on?
I thought those were finished.
Kharla, you're all over the.
I don't know how these games play. I'm
Don't
so
worry.
bad at
I'll
it.
take over from here. I will be the reins here, the metaphorical reins, as I
We all
love to
made
bring
a
up.
big mistake, which was we were like, "Kharla, do the scene, narrate the scene," and Kharla was like, "I don't know what to do. Here's an announcer."
Now listen. I know I'm gonna talk a little quieter now. This here ball, this meatball. I love the name, by the way. There's a lot of people, a lot of higher ups from a lot of the other kingdoms hanging out here. So I'm thinking maybe it might be a good time to acquaint myself along with them, see if I can, soften them up a little bit, like a hammer against some metal. You know how it is. Maybe see if they might be able to offer their support, you know?
So you're saying, like, cooking pasta in boiling water and making them soft and delicious.
That's way better than what I said, but that is kind of gross.
We're going to boil these people until they become our
Oh my
allies.
gosh.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go mingle with the crowd. I'm gonna move along in. So I'll see you later. A little bit later in the ball, okay?
Okay.
Don't be a
you're gonna
stranger.
leave me all by myself here?
Oh, pardon me, excuse me. Oh. And Jesse wanders into the crowd.
Yeah?
What?
I just don't know what's happening. Sam, did you have an idea?
Kind of. I was thinking, like, after the announcement is made of Lady Amethyst from the pit
Yes.
of the wilds and her companion Slater
Mm-hmm.
come in, maybe they kind of right away notice that Princess Kupra is at the party.
Yes, I think it would
And-
be quite evident.
Oh yeah. And perhaps though Slater is a little bit off about going over, Lady Amethyst would kind of wander over to you to try and have like a brief crossing of paths to
Yes.
kind of keep the peace of things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I didn't realize I'd have
Um,
to now be two people. Shit.
Someone else can play Amethyst.
Who wants to
I
play
think-
Amethyst?
Yeah, who wants
I
to
can play Amethyst.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Fuck yes.
So we just to make it right, Sam, we are childhood friends from the pit.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Do you want me to explain what I was thinking? Because I've realized I've kind of just done this.
No, I think that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I think to be like protective, Slater kind of like Amethyst is kind of like, well, let's go over and say hi, like be polite, like, you know,
Mhm.
she's visited us a couple of times now, maybe we should, you know, like, oh, okay, sure. Kind of walks over and Slater kind of stops a little bit of a distance away, but still kind of smiles and says, "It's wonderful to see you again, Princess Kupra."
Princess Kupra turns in one hand a cup of warm pasta water, in the other hand tucked forwards as if joyfully holding in a small caress is this chicken. She will look at Slater up and down and say, "Oh, it's been so long. What a pleasure it is to see you here. I had no idea that the two of you were princeps all of a sudden, though. But it's a pleasure to have you here nonetheless."
Oh, we though
Slater
not.
is an honored guest.
Yes, we were invited.
Remind me, when was the last time that we saw each other?
Though your underlings have stayed close by the pit, I believe it's been a few years since you and your companions set up camp nearby.
That sounds about right to me. Must have.
Have you been here long, or just arriving as well?
Oh, I've been here for a little while, listening in here and there, trying to see who's here, thinking about what my next move is. And so, at this point, because this is a structured game, which we have not represented thus far,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we each ask one another a question from the list that's below in this game. Okay?
Okay.
I think what makes sense, Sam, based on what you've said already, is the one, at least for on Princess Kupra's side. There's one here which is, when we parted, there was an unsettled matter between us. Do you bring it up now, even by accident? So Kupra, addressing both Lady Amethyst as well as Slater, will say, "Yes, that sounds about right for the last time we saw each other. If I recall, I sent over some sort of envoy with peace treaty of some sort between the pit and the Legion, or sorry, not the Legion itself, specifically Karstyard. Did you happen to have a moment to look that over? And maybe agree to it, have some of your own terms to add to that. I would really love if we could finalize that here of all places. It's neutral ground, so there's not really anything to worry about. And I think Kupra is like smiling ear to ear, very like looking very amicable, despite the otherwise villainous facade.
Villain.
I think like Amethyst would probably be like looking at Slater here because like I feel like this like this offer was probably not a very good offer in all actuality. I feel like they would sort of be like exchanging a look like, all right, this is turned into an awkward situation now.
Yes, that is the only way that Slater can go at a party. There have been a couple of meetings to discuss whatever changes may be done. It's a large council, so
of course
it's difficult to have a final ruling because some people might change their mind. Some people might just like to disagree with each other.
Well, if it would make things easier, we could schedule some sort of meeting between myself and some others, and as on Karstyard's side, and of course whoever's on this council for the pit, we could all just meet together somewhere. Not today, of course. There's other things to be done here at the Meatball, more dancing, more delicious pasta water to be drunk. But we could always schedule something to happen in the future sometime, just to clear the air. How does that sound? I mean, you can't agree to anything, obviously, but just to seed the idea out there.
I will gladly bring this invite back to the council, but obviously for tonight, it seems we've all come for a well-established party of interesting drinks and many pastas. It kind of like looks around at, like kind of finally noticing the decorations of what they actually are. It's like, and a lot of pasta.
So much pasta.
There's so much pasta.
So much pasta.
I'm imagining like string lights, but it's pasta with lights on it, right? This kind of thing. I don't know anything about pasta. I feel like that's out of my element.
What is pasta?
Let me see.
What question does Slater ask Kupra?
Obviously, with a lot that's been happening recently, it is like I'm eager to see a friendly face. Does Princess Kupra's face offer friendship in these times?
Does my face offer friendship? I think that, one of her traits is friendly. One of my traits is absolutely friendly. She would be smiling ear to ear. She's dressed in like these Legion colors, which might set off some alarms in Slater's head, but she's just smiling, and like all of the body language in the world is just like presenting as like, oh, I'm trying to be very friendly with you, amicable with you, right? Just as welcoming and kind as possible, which are two words I don't think you would ever associate with people wearing Legion colors, right? So yeah, I think her face offers friendship.
Okay, so now that we have both offered our questions, you, as the counterpart, get to choose the closing offer.
Yes. I think that we would, on the back end of that, like the proposition that Kupra made of like, oh, like we should go and have this thing. We should just throw that idea out there. And then there's just this silence as we all three of us just stand there for a moment, and things are kind of tense as just the thought of like, I don't know if a meeting on fair ground with members of the Legion or members of Karstyard and the pit would end up going very well, right? Like, is this a strong arming kind of thing? So I think things are tense, and we part ways quickly. As Kupra then says, I'll see you around the party. I have a few more people that I want to speak to before I leave for the night. So I hope that...
Slater sneaks Amethyst a bottle of clear water before she tries to take any of the stuff from the punch bowl.
I think Amethyst like does like a little like behind behind their back like cheers with Slater.
Yeah.
Just be like, we're not drinking pasta water.
Yeah. We live in the high life.
Yeah. So that's crossing paths, and that's how mini games work.
I would not mind doing a scene with Iridessa if that is something that you would like, Kharla. Just like, because we haven't had like a resistance and like a kingdom person meet up yet, so I think that could be a fun little combo.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, perfect. I think it would be kind of fun if, and like, correct me if there's anything you think would be more fun. I think it'd be fun if like, as the night sort of continues on, there's probably like, there's like a little bit of a snack table. I can see, I can see myself like being at the snack table, like, and there's like some like pasta salad with like some beans and like some vegetables, and I'm just like picking at it, and I'm like, what is this? This is terrible. There's no sugar in this. And it'd be like, we could be like bump into each other as we're like getting snacks of some kind.
It's absolutely garbage.
Iridessa, oh my goodness, how are you doing?
I dropped my pasta on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
Hi. I'm so sorry. You surprised me. I'm doing wonderful. I did not know that you were, I knew that you were going to come because apparently all princeps are supposed to come to this party.
That's
but
the law.
I'm so glad to see you.
Oh, me too. When did we last see each other?
Oh my gosh. It's been a long time. I think that there was this one time when our family went to the beach and just hung out.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that was so lovely. Oh, I miss it. I really do.
I love the beaches from where you are.
Oh, I know. They're so lovely. And, I understand why the Candy Kingdom has to be closed off, but I really do wish we could spend more time together because it's just always a good time. And I think that, we were so close then, and I'm happy and eager to see you now. Does Iridessa share my excitement is my question.
I think that I am excited to see a familiar face. But at the same time, I am excited because Jesse has told me that we are there to try to convince people to join the resistance. I feel like Iridessa is, as much as she tries to be a leader, she is also a frigging mess. So a bunch of like the other people in the resistance sort of keep her in the reins so that she knows what she's doing, because she's charismatic enough to try to convince people to join, but she's not organized in any way, shape, or form. So she might be someone who will like have like the contract, but then she'll be like, I lost the contract because I dropped it like 5 miles back. So I am excited to see you, my old friend, but I'm also excited to convince you to join us.
You're not talking about the resistance right now, are you?
I'm talking about candy. Join me in having candy. Did you know that they have like a hidden candy bar back there?
What, they do?
I saw you picking out your beans.
Oh, they're awful. I mean, I didn't want to say anything in front of the princeps or anything like that, because if they did ask me, I would have to say they're awful, but they're pretty awful. There's a hidden candy bar. Do you want to go get some?
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. And yeah, you definitely do not want to say anything to Prince Tortellino and Princess Pastina because they are the most sensitive princeps out there.
Oh, like if I say the salad's bad, they're going to cry. I understand. All right, I'll have to avoid them then. All right, come on, let's get some candy. Now, listen, I know you were sort of offering to, how do I put this delicately, asked me to join the resistance, and that's really kind, and I'm flattered that you'd ask, but really the Candy Kingdom is doing well. We are safe right now, and I think that if we started to and I like nudge her and I'm like, join the resistance, it might be really dangerous for us, and I just don't think it's really worth the risk right now.
To sort of like try to nudge onto like our friendship and try to, make Princess Confecta reminisce a little bit more. The last time we parted, I gave you something and told you to keep it with you always. So I'm going to ask, Confecta, do you still have the thing?
I think that I like reach into because I have like these like overall pockets on like a hoop skirt, right? And I think that I reach in and Ooh, what would you give me? Because you sort of have like glitter and like lightning powers. I don't know if it's something you would give me. No, but I know. We went to the beach together, and so I think it would be like this like seashell of like that's like really like glittery and really beautiful, and it's like one that you found and you're like, oh, I love this. And you like gave it to me as like, you know, I have to go back to my kingdom, like this is like a parting gift. And so I think that I reach into my like giant ass overall pockets and I pull out the seashell and I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course I got it. I take it everywhere with me. You think I'd leave this anywhere? No. Oh, do you remember we made those sand castles and they were like 12 feet tall? I didn't have my wand on me then, so we had to do it all by hand.
Can your wand do it now?
Of course I can. Do you want me to try?
Yeah, I think you should do it on all those riccatellis.
I think that I sort of like laugh and I point my wand like over at like this little pasta stack somewhere, and I make like a gingerbread castle like pop out. It's like a gingerbread house but like much more elaborate, and I'm like, oh, that's way more fun. Hey, listen, I really do miss hanging out with everyone, you know, quite a bit. We are closed off a lot. I don't know if I'd be able to, you know, do what you're asking me to do and join the resistance, but let's talk more tonight. I'll have to think about it, but I really do miss spending time together.
I agree. And I think it would be safe to say that we talk comfortably.
Yeah.
For
You got there?
hours.
You got there?
I think that's very fun.
Yeah. Ben, Jesse hasn't started a mini game. You haven't chosen a mini game, have you?
No.
Why don't you choose one to pull us into based on all of these events?
Interesting. So let's see what we got.
Mincing words is interesting. It's about hidden things or hiding intent and all these other things. It's another conversation one.
Okay, it's another conversation one.
Yeah, we could do. You could do taking the dance floor.
Yeah, do we want to do that?
It makes sense to me, right? As long as that's what you're down to do.
I would be interested in doing the taking the dance floor one.
Okay.
Because then like the meet and greet, and then it leads into like the big old party. It wouldn't be a ball without the ball part.
Yeah.
Ooh, so you take turns taking steps. Each player gets 2 steps total. Once every dancer has taken 2 steps, the dance ends. Ooh, but you can use your abilities while you dance. Oh,
Yep.
that's fun. I like that. Oh, you can dance with your mag boots. That's so
If
fun.
there's metal.
Nice.
There's metal.
Yes.
So, first, you have to choose a partner, Ben.
I have to choose a partner.
Yeah, you and your chosen partner / partners play.
Who to choose?
5 people dancing Ring Around the Rosie.
Aww.
Like a group dance.
I would say Jesse would love to dance with Princess Kupra.
Very interesting.
Ooh. Spicy.
Dancing with the devil, I see.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So this like almost horrifically dressed lady just like strolls right up to Princess Kupra, almost like confidently like, yeah, this is gonna work, and then just like wildly like flips out a hand and asks the question, may I have this dance? And she like looks up at Princess Kupra like, huh?
Yeah, I think Kupra would be taken off guard very badly. I think this entire time they've just been like scheming, walking around, eavesdropping. Scheming, walking around, eavesdropping on people, being like, oh gosh, golly, I wish someone would ask me to dance. And so Jesse, this mess, or just this stained, wearing kind of ripped up clothes, a bit messy for the occasion. Heavy boots, clink, clunk, clink, clunk, clunk, clunk across the dance floor. Kupra would blush slightly, and I think stammer out like we can dance. I've never danced before. Is that okay?
Well, that's okay. I can help show you the ropes. I feel like I'm a pretty good dancer in my own confidence.
Okay. And so you would grab her hand and we would enter onto the dance floor.
Almost like sort of like hastily.
Yeah, just pulling her along. I think
Like
she's very reluctant,
excitedly.
like holding a chicken and
She's
being
like,
pulled.
"Whoa!"
Yeah. So
now we have to work with everyone in attendance at the dance, and we have to answer these questions.
yeah.
So-
Wait,
Also,
is everyone dancing and joining?
anyone can join in freely. Other players can
Yes.
join in freely if it makes sense for their characters to be at the dance. We're all at the Meatball, so if anyone else wants to be in the scene beyond just being asked directly, you can be, right? So we could all collaboratively do this dance thing. Who would like to be dancing? I would like to be dancing. Kupra is dancing.
I feel
I am
like
dancing.
I feel like while talking to Confecta and seeing why the heck is Jesse dancing with the enemy,
Yeah.
I'm so confused right now, Princess Confecta.
Wait, is that Jessie?
Yeah,
Dancing with...
like I don't know
Huh.
what she's doing.
Interesting. I kind of want to see how this plays out.
I think so too.
I'm imagining them just like eating candy, like Confecta's like summoning like candy from like her wand, and Iridesce is just like picking it up, and they're just like watching and like gossiping together.
Yeah.
Slater and Amethyst come over to the snack table because they're just watching
Yes.
they're watching specifically like Jesse and like everything that's happening there, and just kind of watching. They're like, hey, are these 2 spots taken at the table?
No, go ahead.
Sweet. And they grab candy and they start watching the whole thing happening because they're just
Perfect.
entertained by it.
Perfect. Okay. So then, Ben,
I'm
you
going
and
to
I-
before I
Ooh.
start walking towards you. I'm going to look back at them. I don't know if like I haven't really seen any of them, but they look peaceful enough. So I was like, shit's about to go down. And then I start walking to the dance.
Oh, you're also joining in the dance and leaving it behind.
Awesome.
Okay.
Isn't that what we're doing?
Well, the other 3, the other 2, we're just going to sit and watch and see what the fuck is happening. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
We specifically saw Cooper start dancing with somebody. We were like, we have to see what's going on
Yeah.
here. What?
But
we've
you're
gotta
with
see
the
this
musicians, so
shit.
it might make sense for you to be like, no, this. Well, I mean, you can join freely whenever you want, right? So if things start going bad, you can absolutely just jump in and be like, whoa, right?
I mean, Amethyst isn't really like a character. So like, if I were to join, we wouldn't really be playing out the minigame either.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, anyways, Ben, you and I, where are we dancing? What does the dance floor itself actually look like? What is it?
I would say it's the open central part of
Yeah.
the sort of courtyard area. There's like a fountain in the middle, so it's like everyone's dancing around it. I would say so. Like it's just like sort of like sectioned off, so like all the tables are sort of like off to the side, so nobody like ends up tripping over anything or bumping into anything. So it's very open, and there's like the nice fountain in the background. It's just a good time.
Yeah, I agree. Is there like a stage nearby where music is being played, and what music is getting played? Like what style of music?
I would say it would be the same stage that the like announcer spoke off of originally. What's pasta music?
Italian music.
The Spider-Man 2 theme.
Exactly.
I am.
But it sounds like it's coming from another room, but like turned up louder.
Yeah.
It's very cursed.
It's muffled coming from somewhere else through the walls. Yeah.
The king and queen are dancing together romantically, and then they just kind of play that out for the rest of the people.
Okay. So that's the setting of where we're dancing. I imagine there's a lot of people here as well, so it's not as if it's like it's a moderate dance floor, right? There's a fair amount of people on there. It's not like it's not like a middle school dance where there's just nobody, everyone's standing at the edges of the room, right? Like there's a fair number of people that are dancing here because like every princess in the entire world is invited
In the
here, and
entire
even then-
world.
and then some princess and non-princesses are here as well, as Jessie and Slater are evidence that our princeps are not here as well. So what are we wearing? Princess Kupra, sorry, is wearing like again a high-necked dress. I do think though it's just very essential to say, just in the style of the inspiration for this game, gotta have a crop top in there.
Yep.
It's imperative to have such a thing, and in the colors of like yellow and gray, right, with like a bunch of golden jewelry, just like a huge a long dress that goes all the way to the floor and kind of like runs along the floor as well. All these types of things. Where would I put my freaking chicken? Where would I put my lovely chicken? Or am I just holding them the entire time?
Let them dance on your feet.
They sit on top of your head.
Oh my gosh.
Very cute. Okay, that's it.
Very adorable.
Yeah, and her hair is up into like a tight bun. And then for Jessie, what are you?
Jessie's got like the semi-torn like top half of like a dress, so it's like a half dress with like a trail on the one side of the hip. She's got like the rough pants that's sort of like cut off like just before like her boots, and then she's got her like chonky magnet boots, which I will say they look more like those like cowboy sort of like boots almost. Yeah. Except they've got like it's almost like they got like a bit of heel to them.
Oh, okay. Cool stuff. What do I notice about you? That's the final scene setting question before we begin.
I guess what Kupra would notice about Jessie is like she's really into this, and she's like she keeps like looking back to make sure that Kupra is also sort of interested, sort of trying to like, we're vibing, we're connecting,
we're having a good time here.
We're having a grand old time. As sort of like I don't know, something seems a little like forward about it.
Yeah, I think what you would notice about Kupra is, I think that because again she's never ever in her life danced before, I think she's a bit embarrassed trying to keep up with Jessie, right? Like, I don't know how much Jessie does dance, but I imagine it's more than never, right? And just like the sheer confidence can pull you or like push you along so far, right? So I think that she's like a bit embarrassed that she has essentially 2 left feet and is trying to hide that to the best of her ability, right?
So
that's fun because the worst dancer takes the step.
Yeah, so that would mean Kupra is the worst dancer, I think.
So the worst dancer begins by taking a step.
And the steps are outlined there.
Yeah.
There's so many again.
There's a lot. Take turns taking steps. Each player gets 2 steps over the course of the dance. Once every dancer has taken 2 steps, the dance ends.
And Iridessa is also here dancing as well.
Yes. Iridessa enters at will at her discretion.
Correct.
Whenever she fucking wants to like lay down the law.
Lay down the law.
Or just get in and have a great time, right? I think Kupra, again, as I said, she has these 2 left feet. She's trying to figure out what to do with her silky chicken. And in the excitement of all of this, trying to keep up with Jessie, I think I trip over my own feet. Do you watch me stumble or do you catch me?
Ooh. I would say, and this is gonna sound a little cheesy, but
yes.
So Kupra's like falling back, like eyes closed, like I can't believe I tripped, and then she's like bracing for impact, but she doesn't like hit the ground, like she's like been held up, and like she just opens her eyes and sees like Jessie with the grappling hook, like using it to like lean down and like catch her.
Yes,
this is so cute.
It's like hooked to like the top of the fountains.
Yeah. Her face just goes like fully red, as she regains her footing, and like tries even so hard not to stumble once more. What does Jessie do?
Ooh, time for my step. Let's see.
This is great.
So I think Jessie is going to leave the grappling hook as is, and she's going to like hold that in one hand, but she's going to pull Kupra up and basically she will twirl Kupra around and then dip her back down.
Yes.
When I look down at you, what expression is on your face?
I think it's just like pure wonder, like, oh my gosh, this is so impressive. I think like Kupra might even say under her breath, like, oh my gosh, this is so impressive. Just like full face, like flushed, like pink cheeks, absolutely, just like looks to be having a wonderful time, like looking at you with stars,
Amazing.
sparkles in the eyes.
Incredible.
This is amazing. This is exceptional. Sam, do you remember the part at the start where it's like flirt?
Flirt. We're at the flirting part.
We're at the flirting part. We made it, everybody.
We did it.
Oh, yeah. So Cooper has this like tight done up bun and just like is very like put together on this evening. As we dance around and you just keep and as Jessie keeps twirling her and spinning her and dipping and just leading her through this wonderful dance, I think that the dance has made a mess of my hair. So it starts to like fall a bit. The bun becomes a bit like loose. Do you reach up to put it back in place?
I would say no.
Oh, yeah. So it would just continue to like untangle.
It'll continue to get untangled.
Yeah, become
and...
undone as the time goes on, right? Like as Cooper becomes more comfortable and kind of lets her guard down, so too does the hair come down. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Amazing. So it's this, just this long, brown, dark brown, almost black hair begins to just like twirl and spin around as we continue dancing. And then the last step, Ben.
Ooh, the last step.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like this one. So after some nice dancing with Princess Kupra, she's all like bewildered by what is happening and such. Jessie is going to let her go so she can like catch her breath because she doesn't want to like over craze Kupra, but she's going to like wink and like reel back her grappling hook, and she will use her abilities to dazzle you, doing so what she'll do is she'll take her grappling hook and like hook it onto like one of those like strings.
Yes.
Or like a solid
like
bar.
One of the large columns or like a support in the ceiling somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's going to sort of like spin herself around almost while like using the grappling hook as like a balance. So she's like spinning in air and like just like gliding around as she like spins around the pole, and then gracefully lands and like leans against like the pole and just reels it back. So like,
damn,
like a measuring tape.
Do I sweep you off your feet?
Literally, or
metaphorically? I would say
metaphorically. I think Kupra, this entire like couple of minutes while we've been dancing, watching Jessie just be so amazing on like dancing, all this confidence, all this panache is just like absolutely swept her off her feet. She's just grinning ear to ear, like in an earnest, genuine way, unlike the way she was doing earlier, which was almost like in a manipulative way. This is just like pure having fun, complete infatuation in this moment, I think.
The evil has been defeated.
This is now my
Power
girlfriend.
Of love. Yeah.
Yeah. So watching in on all of that, I think, was Iridessa. Does she ever step in? Does she step in right now here at the end?
I am just going to stand there and clap. Like, it's gonna be super awkward, I know, but it's sort of like, I did not anticipate for that to happen. That was a lot of electricity. I'm electric, but there's more electricity there. And I'm just like going to clap and mouth like, wow.
Thank you.
Slater is also
just
amazing. At the like very quietly, because they're on like the other side of the dance room at this point, and they're just like, that was good. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just like munching on fuzzy peaches. I'm like, I didn't know there was something going on between those two. I say to my friends.
I don't even know who that other person is, but like I'm thoroughly impressed, honestly.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, you know Jessie?
Oh, I know Princess Kupra.
Oh.
Not as familiar with Jessie, They can dance. I
They
would
can
say.
dance.
They can dance.
Definitely dance. Like, whoa.
I think Kupra would begin walking up to Jessie, almost like as if to say something like this is like nothing else on her mind, and then interrupting this wonderful scene, the +1, Kupra's +1, a soldier, just a normal grunt-like person from the Legion, dressed in like in dress fatigues of yellow and gray, walks up to her and like would whisper something in her ear. Someone else play this character for a second. What does this just grunt whisper?
I think it would be something like don't forget what you're here for.
Perfect. And my face kind of like drops. I avert my eyes from Jessie, and the grunt and I just walk off into the shadows of this party.
Jesse's just gonna have to like stare with like an eyebrow raised, sort of like intrigued, but also like, I am frustrated.
A single look slowly over Cooper's shoulder as she walks away, and she quickly returns to eavesdropping and scheming. Her guard got let down for too many minutes.
I thought Cooper was gonna like let loose once.
She did for a second.
For a brief moment.
Okay, so has everyone chosen and started a scene at this point? Or started a mini game, I guess is the actual proper word. What do we think?
Here.
Yeah. What do we think a fun one to do to like cap off the party, or do we want to keep going with this party, right?
It'd be fun if we could do like a scene as a whole group.
Yeah, I was thinking that also.
And it seems like the one that has the entire group has to do with like, so there's taking shape where your character needs to transform.
Which is not right now.
And apparently it can happen in the middle of another game.
Yeah, that's for like getting in a fight and stuff.
Yeah. But so far,
Ben,
there's no fight.
Yeah, Ben, did you see one that was
being
interesting?
I thought one was pretty cool. I think search and rescue might be a good one.
Ooh. Okay. Let me.
Ooh. What if?
Yeah.
Even though this is supposed to be neutral ground.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is just becoming Shira.
We can't say that.
Becoming.
Bleep that out. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all.
Even though it's supposed to be neutral ground. Guess who got kidnapped?
Who?
The chicken.
The chicken
I was
got
just
kidnapped.
about to say like the twins.
I was thinking that as well.
I was going with the joke because the bun came out of your hair, so the chicken kind of wasn't on your head anymore and just kind of wandered off. So it's like, oh no, the chicken got kidnapped. No, the chicken just kind of went into one of the rooms and ate pasta. Like, it's fine, but you don't know it.
I mean,
I
the chicken
enjoy
could have been
this.
kidnapped too.
We can I think a fun idea that it could turn out is the chicken gets left behind and that becomes some sort of thing. But I do also like this playing the search and rescue, which for the audience, if you're not looking at while we're playing, it is kind of like someone gets taken captive and there's a captor and a rescuer, a captive, a captor, and a rescuer. So I think that could be fun as like because this grunt did come over and say don't forget what you're here for, right? So I feel like if the intent for Kupra coming here, Princess Kupra, was kidnap, I either convince Princess Pastina and Prince Tortellino to join the Legion, or just take them, right? And we can use them as like we can still, and then we can just take the kingdom without any opposition, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes, kidnap the heir so no one can stop you.
Yeah,
devilish.
Because maybe
and then you become the heir.
Maybe the kingdom of Nedelia or Nedelia, they need food to feed the Legion. So this is the best place to get all the pasta, so they can have pasta parties every time at the base.
Oh, and you know what's like a real evil part of their plan?
Yeah,
they would play it out so that it's like the heirs never went missing and they're just operating as normal. Like they suddenly we're joining the Legion and stuff, even though that is completely not what they want, and they are just being held captive while there's imposters.
It's like, trust us, it's fine. There's imposters, you mean? Like,
Imposters.
Trust us, it's fine. Like, they're totally on our side.
Yeah. Let's, in that case, play Search and Rescue.
Yes.
You and at least 2 others play. You'll need coins and tokens for this.
So that will be everyone.
That would be everyone. Everyone is playing in this instance. Answer these questions together. Where is the captive being held? So the party proceeds for the rest of the night. Everyone take a second and actually, just to like have an interstitial moment, narrate a couple of the things that your character does for the rest of like the evening as the party reaches a crescendo, I guess.
Is crescendo the top or the
I don't actually know anything about music.
So
Ben,
a crescendo
It's
is
bigger.
when you have the tempo, or like, no, it's not the tempo. It's like
fucking nerd.
the.
It's when it gets bigger.
Well, no, it's not when it gets bigger. So it starts off like light and quiet.
Yeah.
And a crescendo means it gets louder the
Yes.
further along it
With
goes.
like more force.
Yeah. Okay. So at the
okay.
So
at the
you would
peak
go
of the
from
party.
like a piano to a forte, basically.
God,
I thought that would be the
Like that.
ascendo.
I
right? 'Cause it's
don't.
ascending.
We're gonna cut that joke. So yeah, as the party reaches its like loudest point,
Its
most
peak.
As the meatball reaches its peak, what
The
Mary,
meatball drops
what,
like it's New
It's
York.
what
like
are the
The moon
what are
is the
these
meatball.
characters
Fuck.
doing? How do they kind of come together in a way, right? What's the scene here?
I think like Confecta's been like just like having fun hanging out with people again, and has been like pestering Slater like, oh my god, you're like, you know, you have to tell me everything about the pits kind of thing. I'm just getting very excited, and I think that the invitation from Iridessa at the very beginning of like, you should come and you should join the resistance is like in the back of her mind. Literally, it's like, I am so like, I want to hang out with these people more. These are very fun people. I wouldn't mind being in some kind of like resistance with these folks. I haven't said it out loud yet, but I'm just like hanging out with them and like giving them candy when they get sick of pasta, and just like these are some cool and fun people.
Yeah.
I think with that, like, yeah, like definitely Slater, after the very awkward conversation at the tense conversation at the beginning of the night,
Yeah.
seeing Kupra like kind of lose that cool that she's always kind of had was definitely like a moment of, oh, we're at a party, like people can slip up here. And so it's kind of like a like us like kind of bonding over like, man, that was wild, and oh yeah, let's have some candy together because we're all hanging out, like we can be friends. Amethyst is like gushing over like Confecta's like gown and like how beautiful that she looks, and like she's just like gushing over everything because she's never been
That
to like a
hoop
proper
skirt.
like Princept party before, and so like they're like very much enjoying themselves. They have no like, obviously they don't have any big things towards the Legion besides the possible meeting or the Resistance, because they don't really know that the Resistance is here. But they're enjoying themselves talking to these different Princepts that they've been kind of bumping into throughout the night, and so they're just having a good time.
So I would say that after the whole like grand display that Jessie gave dancing and the sour retreat from Princess Kupra, she goes back to hang out with Iridessa and sort of like gets to know Princess Confecta. And
I think Princess Confecta, because she hasn't like really been friends with other princesses for a while, is not like the most up to snuff on social cues. Is like, oh, so you know, you and Kupra, huh? I had no idea. That's incredible. And has just been like kind of embarrassing herself a little bit, but she's been having a good time.
And also like meeting with Slater, because I don't think Jessie has ever met with Slater before, but she's been to the pits every like once in a while just to sort of like, you know, visit the place and see the sights.
Yeah, they're definitely like on even ground. Like there's nothing bad, but like we're not like friends kind of thing, but like we aren't enemies either.
We're mutuals.
But also just being like, whatever move you did, how did you do that? Was so cool to watch. Like, what?
And Jessie's all like embarrassed and sort of like playing with her hair a bit.
Yeah, I think for Iridessa, it's also just communicating with these people, learning who Slater is, because they're right by them, right?
Yeah.
Or they're sitting
I
right
think you're
by
all, like,
Confecta at
around
least.
each other.
Yeah, we haven't left the candy table, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
We were like,
Yeah.
oh cool, not pasta. Eat this instead.
I love the visual of going to this grand ball, getting all dressed up and being like, we're going to socialize. And then just all sitting around being like, oh, there's candy at this table? Excellent. Nice to meet you. I would like candy.
Well, that's the problem when you host it at the Pasta Kingdom.
We did eat like 3 plates of pasta, and then we were like, okay, you know what? We actually need something sweet in our body, please.
I mean, to be fair, in actual parties, this is something that I do. Like, I radiate around like the dessert table.
All the introverts went to a party and
Hello,
then
it
met
is
up
I,
in
the
one
dessert
corner,
table.
and we're like, we're friends now, right?
And
There's so many carbs.
Yeah, I love the idea of someone eating a bunch of pasta and being like, I'm so bloated I can't even dance.
And I think Iridessa might have tried to like talk to passing people, because when they try to get dessert, and these are princesses that she's encountered in the past, checking them out, seeing how they were, trying to get a scope if they're joining the resistance or if they're evil. You know, get information for the resistance, if ever.
Cool. So yeah, the party mounts. You all sit around, getting to know one another, asking assorted questions, making small talk, becoming closer as friends, keeping those things in the back of your mind of like, oh, the resistance maybe sounds like a good thing now, right? Like, are these people villains, etc.? All these questions, meeting new people. And I think that, so to answer, like, we're going to play search and rescue. We are all involved in this. Kupra will be the captor. I think we've already said our captives are going to be the princepts, who are NP, not player characters, right? So we can kind of ignore them because they don't have to be relevant. But
Wow.
And then the 4 of you, I guess, would be rescuers.
Yes, we are rescuers.
We get a chance to team up and do some cool things.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's 2 questions to answer for this game before we can start it. Where is the captive being held?
Ooh. I think it would be a real kick in the gut to be imprisoned in your own dungeon.
Ooh.
What does the pasta dungeon look like, though? I feel like this is a very important...
Oh, I would imagine. What are those like twisty corkscrew looking ones?
Rotini?
Rotini? I would imagine like the cells are just like really like hard rotini.
Yeah, those are Rotini. Yeah, those are Rotini.
Oh my god.
That's very
Anyone can, they better never imprison anyone with like boiling water powers, because then they can just soften the noodles to escape.
Yeah.
They could just cook the entire castle and eat it. Like, it's done.
I was almost going to suggest that the dungeons are just open. It's just open cells. And then when you put someone in there, you just make a lasagna in front of them and trap them in.
That's it. That's like way better.
Oh my
Tell
god.
us all your secrets and this can all be
Layers and
yours.
layers of lasagna trapping them.
Got to have a saga.
So that's what they're So that's where they're being held, in the dungeons here in the Nudelian castle.
In the lasagna.
The lasagna.
The lasagna.
Lasagna.
And their surroundings are, of course, pasta and lasagna, right? So they're just in
Oh my god.
What is this game? It's perfect.
So I think an interesting third question would just be, so I guess I can narrate maybe. I think that Kupra would go up. I think there's a line that's like formed to like go up and actually speak to the princepts together, right? Like they're probably sitting in a single place, just taking audience after audience after audience, right? So I think that at a certain point, after this dance and after she's gotten like fastened, like gotten her head straight again of like, oh my God, I'm not here to socialize with people and like dance around and like get crushes and all these things. I think that Princess Kupra and her +1, this grunt, this Legion grunt, will stand in this line for as long as it takes. And then when they are eventually at the front, Princess Kupra would go through all of the proper customs, bowing, greeting, kind of just like running through the laundry list of like pre-rehearsed like niceties of like, oh, it's so nice. It's a pleasure to be here. I've always wanted to visit the Kingdom of New Delhi. I hear it's beautiful this time of year. I've always wanted to journey to the and see just the beautiful castles and all the different locales around. Such a wonderful place, a crossroads of culture and all sorts of trade. The people are so wonderful here and so welcoming, and you've done such a
Pasta's so good.
The pasta is so good. The food's great. The water is exceptional.
No,
I love it. And
Prince Tortolino is definitely like, you're totally buttering up to us.
Like buttered noodles.
Yep. And
you're the penne sauce.
And I think that when she finally stops like essentially like kissing up to them, buttering them up, Kupra will stand up from bowing. The grunt, I think, in this meantime, while she's distracted, the two princeps has kind of moved around into a more advantageous position, off towards the back-ish area. Again, they're not a very attention-grabbing presence, so I feel like they can move around pretty easily without people paying attention. And
Sneaky.
Kupra will pose the single question to the two princeps and say, I come here on behalf of the Legion, and I would have the privilege of extending an offer to join us in an alliance, which would mean that we could move troops through your land, we could open up trade routes between all of the kingdoms currently within the Legion, you would gain access to our power and resources, and again, all we would need from you is just to be able to pass through your land. And how would the princeps react? What's the princeps reaction such that this immediately becomes like a, all right, we're just gonna kidnap you kind of situation?
I would almost say like like they're already wary and like they know that they're trying to be buttered up and stuff. So I feel like they might, like, Kupra definitely knows more than she's letting on. And so they might be getting a little suspicious, and therefore they're like not entirely set on like, yeah, we don't know if we really want to do this right now.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that. And then she'll snap her fingers, and this grunt just pulls out what device does he? I'm imagining something to electrocute them and like knock them unconscious.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, some sort of like metal rod or something. Is that
no
too Shira?
electrocution, only tickling.
Only tickling? Okay, I'm
so
sorry.
you're gonna make them laugh until they pass
special
out
gloves,
from like air
and at
loss.
the end
Cooper's
of each
hideous
finger
laughter.
are these feathers.
Yeah, they pull their hands out from their pockets, and on each hand is just like these two gloves, and on each glove is just a bunch of tiny little, very ticklish looking feathers, chicken feathers.
Oh, chicken feathers!
Perfect.
And they just hold it up to each of the princeps' necks, and they just start.
What are you doing?
until they pass out. And then Krupa will kind of look around, give a devilish grin, and at this point, the four gathered around the dessert table, the dessert princess, would take notice as Kupra and the grunt start. Well, the grunt starts hauling their bodies off, or their unconscious bodies off. And Kupra,
Is it just me, or is Cooper currently in the process of kidnapping the princeps?
What?
What?
Yeah, and I just like point over. It's like they're being dragged off.
Yeah, it's absolutely just happening in the light of the day or the light of the night, right? It's just in the open. This is happening.
How is
Maybe,
no
like,
one else
everyone's-
noticing this right now?
Everyone is so full from because they haven't been eating candy. They've been eating pasta, and everybody's so lethargic that they're not really like paying attention.
There's a bunch of people like taking a nap, like on one side of the floor. They had like moved all the tables out of the way, and they put out these large lasagna sheets on the ground for the people to lay on and like recuperate themselves from the amount of pasta that they ate.
Do you think the Nidalians kind of feel like a kind of resentment towards having to theme every single thing about pasta? They're like, can we not just have a regular bed? Does it really have to be a lasagna bed?
I 100% think that the prince and princess kind of want to have like a regular party for once because the theme thing gets kind of old, but their like dad, the king, is like super into it. Like, this is a tradition that we have been doing for hundreds of years, and I want those noodle cups to be sparkling.
Can I just
For
say
the
that
pasta water.
there's like I was just gonna say that there is like the great cooking of 19 of a certain year, like of the old years, where it was very hot. The water was very humid around them, and the pastas just started cooking. So the houses started falling apart.
Oh my god, that's reminding me of like the fucking Willy Wonka movie remake.
I was thinking that,
where
but I
like
didn't
the
want to say
fucking
it 'cause it's a
the
shitty
fucking
movie.
palace starts melting.
Yeah, the chocolate palace.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay. So, search and rescue. You all notice this happening. The rescuer needs to find the captive and help them escape. So, as you all try to take action, Kupra and the grunt manage to with some haste before you can muster a response, move the captive prince and princess into like the backroom corridors leading towards the Lasungin. The rescuer needs to find the captive and help them escape. If there is more than one rescuer, take turns posing challenges.
Okay.
The captor places obstacles and challenges between the rescuer and the captive. The captor does not need to be a player character. Perfect.
Ooh.
The captive can give advantages to the rescuer or captor. They can also choose to not give anything to anyone. The rescuer goes first, the captor second, and the captive third. On your turn, choose a challenge from your roles section. Read it aloud and flip a coin, then follow the outcome. As you play, the rescuer and the captor will gain tokens. These tokens represent how close they are to completing their goal. And then there's a thing to do after we've each done 2 challenges. So, rescuers, you go first. What do you do?
Oh, there's a lot. So who
There's a
who
lot.
is going to go first? That is the question. Who is the first to take initiative here?
Yeah.
I think that I look at Iridessa and I'm like, Iridessa, if you recall the invitation you gave me earlier to join the resistance, and I'm gonna like take out the seashell that Iridessa got me, and I'm gonna like point to it, and I'm gonna be like, I'd like to reconsider my answer now, and I'm gonna take Barry, my mount, and I'm gonna like hop on to try to pursue, which I think could be. I think I would just be very like action oriented. Like I'm not being like, okay, let's stop and like plan. I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So is that the rescuer challenges?
Rescuer challenges, yeah.
Okay. I run down. If I can reflavor that too, I ride my Swedish fish down.
Absolutely.
A passage past you, following an errant lead. I throw. Heads, you get my attention. Tails, I continue on my path, none the wiser, the captor gets a token. So I don't have a coin in front of me, but I do have a website, justflipacoin.com.
Oh my
I'm
god.
going to flip a coin, and it's gonna
Perfect.
heads. Okay, heads, you get my attention. What does you get my attention?
You get my attention.
Okay,
I know what it is. I know what it is. You when you're like, you sort of know the general direction of where the captor has gone. But
you get my
you
attention.
either, if you fail, you don't see where they went, you just continue on your path. But because you got their attention,
Makes
you
sense.
can follow their path.
Yeah,
and
because you just
Okay.
to the best
you just
of your
start
ability.
riding down the hallways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've got,
that's what it
transformed
is.
my wand into a lasso, and I'm like, yeehaw, let's do this.
That's how it's interpreted. So
Okay.
So what does that look like? Just narrate for us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think that I'm like riding very loudly. So I get your attention. So I'm sort of like I've got Barry like going through, and I think that I would like crash into like some kind of like pasta like food display as I'm going and like create like a very loud noise. And I feel like that would probably be like distracting of like, oh shit, like I got spotted. So I feel like you might like kind of stop, and I think that I might like you would if not for that, you probably would have gone so fast that I wouldn't have been able to see where you go, but you maybe like stop for a second, you like look over your shoulder like, oh shit, and that's how we figure out which direction you're going in.
Yeah, you like come crashing down a hallway, and we like make eye contact from down this exceptionally long pasta-filled hallway, and then and then Kupra just turns very quickly to the grunt and says, hurry up, they're catching up with us. And we just continue rushing off.
Yes, ma'am.
It's now my turn.
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
Okay, since we just ran around the corner and we run into like down a set of stairs into like a dark, into the Lazungeon, right? But not into like where we're going to actually throw them in. You hear the captive's voice and do your best to follow it. You've walked directly into a trap. I get to throw. Let me flip a coin.
You walked directly into a trap.
So that's heads. Did I say that right? I got head. A head. I got heads.
So you are what happened to you? You've wasted precious time and are hopelessly lost.
So the four of you chase down this hallway with Confecta leading the way, bashing down like doors, just running everywhere, and you hear one of the princeps yell,
"If anyone can hear us, we're down here."
You hear that and chase after it.
Help!
But it's a trap. You find yourself a large a large cage made of chicken wire falls down around you.
Chicken wire.
Oh no.
And it seems to just be a dead end. It seems to be a complete trap. You see a small little akin to like a walkie-talkie placed on the ground there. That seems to just be transmitting the voice from somewhere else.
What the fuck?
The rescuer. Yeah. Okay. So neither one of us has tokens yet. Next rescuer challenge.
What about the captive? Are we doing anything with the captive?
Captives
Are
are
we gonna
NPCs.
The captives are NPCs. Do we have to? We don't have to do it.
Okay, we don't have to do that.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
They'll just
They
be
don't
like,
know how to help in any situation. They're just kind of hanging
Those
in
two are
there.
just going,
ourselves. Help!
All I was doing was drinking a glass of pasta water, and next thing I know, I'm being taken to the dungeon.
Oh, I knew they should have been drinking the water at this stupid party. Now I'm too distracted with how bad the water was to do anything.
I'm so bloated. I can barely put up a fight.
Oh, my tummy is full of pasta.
Okay. Who wants to try to do a rescuer challenge?
Let's see.
What if?
Mm-hmm.
So I once knew this area very well. And I bet I can anticipate its defenses. However, my knowledge could be out of date. And that would pertain to the captor, right?
Yeah, that's for y'all.
Yeah, that's for you.
That's
so if you're going to anticipate the defenses, it's either like, okay, my knowledge may not be good, but I was able to overcome it, or your knowledge is completely off and we flumber.
Okay.
We fail.
I think that Iridessa has had experience with being inside a chicken coop.
Amazing. What a sentence.
That's so oddly specific.
Just because, like, being part of the resistance, sometimes you do come across and directly fight the Legion, and there have been like close calls where, you know, I was reckless. I was trying to trick them and be like, ha ha ha, you fucking catch me. And I was trying to run away, but they totally caught me and dropped a cage on me. So I'm like, well,
I love that this is a regular occurrence where they're just like, haha, chicken wire cage. Can't get into this one.
Works every time.
It always works.
so I'm familiar with it from a while back because during like the earlier years of being in the resistance, I was reckless, but over time they caught me less and less because I got better and better. So that's why my knowledge may be out of date.
Yeah. Okay. Flip a coin.
Coin flip.
I got tails. So that means that
Tails. Our first tails.
things have changed in my absence. The captor gets a token.
No.
Oh,
So
no.
what changes? Yeah, feel like collaboratively, what has changed?
One of the metals that they use is like a metal that a lot of people are allergic to.
Advanced metal.
It's nickel.
It's coated with allergens.
I'm just thinking this because my nose is all clogged up from like
Oh,
what's happening outside.
What
So
if? Well, you're you're lightning, so that wouldn't work.
Oh, allergic.
Allergic to the metal. You can do
Hey,
it.
don't make fun of me.
Oh, you grab it and it makes you immediately break out in a rash.
Gosh. If that's what you want to do, Kharla.
yeah, so I am going to I'm going to touch the metal because before I could use my
What if instead of it being you're allergic to it, it like dampens powers,
Oh,
which makes more fucking
like
sense.
kryptonite.
It's like
Okay.
anti-energy metal.
Because it's like a high-tech kingdom that you're from, right? So it could be like a
Exactly.
new development
Yeah, yeah.
that we could
Why
not
would
have
they
predicted.
Why did they decide to make like high energy, like high tech
Energy drain chicken wire.
Oh my god.
Because they knew they would run into her again someday.
Yeah.
Oh, they knew.
So,
they knew.
So what happens when you try to Iridessa tries to like grab it and like rip it apart or something?
Yeah.
What happens?
or no, Iridessa before would electrocute it and like the metals will just fall apart. But this time around, Iridessa tries to like put out her electricity. But then it just turns into what's something super weird that electricity can turn to? It turns to
Water? Because that's the opposite of electricity, just like random spurts of water.
It just changes like whatever thing you shoot at it. It just like bleh, it turns to water.
I would,
and just
maybe
splashes to the
maybe it
ground.
changes to smoke.
Ooh, like as it hits the metal, it just starts
it's like
smoking. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool, Ben.
I like that.
Water.
And it's
smoke
yeah.
that smells like grass.
water.
Oh, the burnt grass smell. Oh no.
Grass
Oh
smell.
yeah.
Okay. So that's what happens. Okay. So you're all still in this chicken wire energy damping field.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
Uh-oh.
That also comes back to play in the fact that Cooper has as one of her abilities tactics. So setting up traps like this and knowing your weaknesses would be a perfect play, I think, for her.
God damn it, she's good.
So
So now it's the captor's turn.
it's the captor's turn.
What are the captors gonna do to the poor heirs?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten away for all intents and purposes, but to add like onto this trap, right? Again, calling back to this tactics situation, I think the ground beneath your feet shifts suddenly and you could lose your footing. The ground opens up into a pit trap, dropping you into a lasagna. Or dropping you into like a transport car that would like bring you to some sort of Legion.
Oh no!
HQ,
Oh no.
right?
Oh
Yeah.
no! Shit.
So like this was a backup. Like if someone tries to get me, this will trap them, and then we can like bring them in, right? So, I need to flip a coin. That is a heads. So in that case, a heads, you are knocked off balance and become dizzy,
No.
which is the worst possible result, unfortunately. The ground opens up beneath you. You all fall into this metal box. Again, it has this same like energy damping kind of feel to it, and the roof of this like car kind of, or like this trailer kind of slams and like shuts, and you're all in like this darkness, or illuminated, right, and kind of like dizzy from the fall.
Gosh dang it.
After each roll has posed 2 challenges, compare tokens. If the rescuer has more tokens than the captor, no. If the captor has more tokens than the rescuer, because you all didn't get one. Okay. And I got one. If the captor has more tokens than the rescuer, then the captor has succeeded in repelling the rescue attempt and maintains their grasp on the captive.
No.
The heroes.
This is our like Empire Strikes Back moment.
It really is, right?
Yeah.
So someone else narrate as like the bits, like take individual bits. So these 2 captives are kind of thrown into one of these Lazunjan cells. The grunt pulls up large sheets of lasagna and from the wall and begins to stack them. A layer of
It
cottage
takes a while.
cheese, some sauce, another one, millimeter by millimeter. They build this wall up.
They're just like in the middle of the cell, just like sitting there watching.
What if the dude's building it wrong, and the prince and then they're like, "You're not supposed to put lasagna together that way. How could you, you monster?"
Oh,
You're not
they have to like
supposed
give the grunts instructions.
Yeah.
No.
Still
Okay.
weak for
Now you
laughing.
put the
They can't get up, but
sauce,
they're like, all right.
and now the okay.
Yeah.
Now you have to repeat that step a couple of times. No. You don't put 2 pieces of pasta as one layer.
Send more marinara in here.
And while the grunt does that, I think Kupra would walk up to like I'll say there's like a window maybe. In my mind, this like thing is on top of like a large mountain, like this half penne. Was that what we said the castle looked like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This half penne kind of like sitting atop the castle, almost looking like the spire of a mountain itself. And looks out the window at like the road leading down from the castle itself, as many Legion troops begin the slow march up towards the castle itself, and a single transport unit just drives off into the distance towards the nearest HQ.
I would say just to like really pull at some heartstrings here. There's like a little window in the back of the transport car, and like Jesse's just like looking out and like looking up towards like the penne castle, and I would imagine like Princess Kupra is like looking out there as well.
Yeah,
and just catches a glimpse of Jesse's face, and she's kind of like dejected and like sad as she's being taken away.
Let's actually say it, like maybe it's a balcony actually. So she walks out onto this balcony to like see everything. And like they share, like not over the distance, they can't quite see each other eye to eye, but Jesse can still see her standing there. And has this moment. And Kupra watches the transport cart go and like closes her eyes and like looks down to the side, almost like, no, I can't think about those things right now. There's more important things at hand. The Legion comes first. And what other elements happen here? What else happens with the night? How does everything go down? How does this episode end, as it were?
Maybe it's like, maybe we do like a couple of sentences, like how each person reacted, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like we did at the beginning.
Really good.
Someone could also describe like the facility you're brought to, and then how everyone's reacting there. Or you can do the reactions in the cart, etc.
I think like it's a cool scene to like be driven off.
Yeah, that's a good like episode. Like
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
I think just for purpose sake of like, if we are to do a next episode, when we started giving chase, Amethyst was left at
Oh no,
the
Amethyst
party, because when we were like, oh, something's happening. Hey, Amethyst, do you want to go take a nap on the lasagna? And she's like, that sounds amazing. Yes. And so she's back at the castle. And so now Slater's just like, I failed my job. and now we're going to a Legion base.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun,
Yay.
dun.
Yeah.
I think they're sort of sitting in the car. I think that Confecta's like, well, that was a pretty shitty first day in the Resistance. Fuck, what do we do? And like she's like looking at her newfound friends like, was this a mistake?
Yeah, I gotta say, like, this is my first time properly seeing the Resistance in action, and did not go very well.
I'm sorry, we're not usually all that. Stuff like that usually doesn't happen, but, you know, I guess the next step is to try and get ourselves out of here. And she's like, and Jessie, like, lifts her metal boot and starts, like, kicking, like, the door as hard as she can to, like, no avail.
Yeah, stuff like that usually does not happen to Jessie, but it used to happen a lot to me, so you'll get used to it. And
Wait, whoa, wait, who said I was part of the Resistance? Like, no offense, but like, Resistance hasn't done a lot for, you know, the wilds or the pit.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, like, Jessie, you've come by a couple of times and you've been perfectly kind and friendly, but like, Legion's been kind of, I guess, visiting us for a couple of years now, and no one's kind of, you know, interfered with that. Like,
It'll be like that for a while. But what do you know? You'll wake up one day and all of a sudden the Legion will take everything that you care about. Look what happened to the castle. They're swarming it now.
Yeah, as Jessie like gestures at the back window of the cart, you see these giant Legion banners kind of like unfurl on the front of the castle. The regular New Delian banners cut down and replaced.
What the Legion gives you is just a false peace. That's not gonna last forever. They're gonna come. They're gonna come for you.
I mean, Amethyst's not like, it's not like a princess or anything like that. Like, I mean, like, technically she's like the leader's like kid, but like they're not gonna hurt her, are they?
I can't answer that.
Iridessa, I'm going to stop bouncing because what I was doing, oh my gosh, I'm bouncing again. I keep on going back to my nature. But since I'm assuming that my electricity was not working, I'm just trying to brute force it and trying to like getting the truck to open. So I'm like, obviously I do not have magnetic feet or shoes. So I'm just trying to like make a dent on the wall or something by brute forcing it, putting my my shoulder to it, jumping around and stuff like that.
Okay.
But as soon as I hear that Slater says that, I'm going to stop and look, and I'm going to say, well, my parents have told me stories because they were in the Resistance for a long, long time. It was not until really like a little bit after that that I joined and had the memory, but they told me that I almost called the Horde. That
we can't talk about that here. Nope.
That the Legion like comes to you and befriends you and gets super, super close to you, and then behind your back, they will just take over, like what happened to Princept Cameron, Princept Cameron, and now no one can take pictures because they took over.
Look, I this is gonna sound heartless to me, you guys, but like I'm not with the whole like, I'm not with the Legion, I'm not with like the Resistance, I'm not with the kingdoms besides some simple trade deals. Like I just want to make sure Amethyst is safe. Like, that's my big thing right now. And like, once we get to wherever the heck we're going, and once I figure out where we are, I'm gonna try and get back to her as soon as possible. Like, I want to help, but I have my responsibilities.
We're not forcing you to join the Resistance. We want to make sure that you're aware of what the Legion is doing.
I mean, I wasn't in the resistance either until like 10 minutes ago. And I mean, I do understand where you're coming from because it is a very similar situation to me. But looking at what happened to the two twins, it kind of seems like even if you're not in the resistance, it's like if you're not with the Legion, you're against them. And I mean, right now, just given the whole situation, seems like we've all kind of definitively made ourselves against them. So, once we do what we can and once we escape, I don't think they're going to be real nasty, y'all. And I just think maybe we should, stay together and, team up. And if they're going to treat you like you're in the resistance, you might as well fight like you're in the resistance,
I mean, can I have some time to think about it?
Well, we got nothing but time.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that the camera leaves the four of you in the back of this.
So wait, if Princept Cameron was taken, how is the camera panning away if there's no camera anymore?
This camera is being
what is
read
recording?
by the
Pans
Legion.
away.
The Legion makes
easel pans
promotional
away.
videos to have people join the Legion. And so they'll be like, come join us at the Legion, or else you'll end up like these people in the back of a truck.
Yes. As we see like this transport trailer get pulled off. In my mind, it's pulled by very large. Sorry if this is just a lot of chicken stuff, y'all, but like I really had a vision come into this.
I mean, I
like,
imagine this is like Cooper's like division of the whole thing. So these are going to be chicken related.
So like it's like a metal transport trailer, and the person steering or driving it is like the thing pulling it is just a large chicken dressed in like futuristic looking armor of some sort. Just this
Sci-fi chicken.
huge chicken, cyber chicken, pulling everyone. And I think for a moment we'll cut back to the castle, and as all of the gathered
Penne has a slight like a limp to it.
Wilted a little bit. As the moon is high over this wilted penne of a party, of a meatball party, the princepts and guests gathered kind of in the center of the ballroom, kind of are just clustered together, whispering between themselves like, oh, I'm very bloated and this is a quite scary situation and stuff of that sort. Many Legion soldiers have like entered into the premises, are trying to just like find everyone in the building and make sure everything's accounted for. And I think amidst this, Kupra would kind of walk over to one of like the lead lieutenants and gesture at a person that they had spoken to early in the party, Amethyst, and will say, she's the daughter of the leader of the pit. She might be a useful bargaining chip to make an alliance with them. And she'll smile like devilishly this time.
Evil.
Evil like this time, not friendly like.
You.
And then she'll like kind of turn and look at Amethyst, kind of like sitting there alone without anyone looking around, like hopefully to see Slater maybe get pulled out of one of these doors. Like maybe they're still around, right? And I think she'll say, if we have her, I think they'll realize where they belong in the pecking order. I just wanted to make that joke. And I'm good with ending there if everyone else is.
Yeah.
Episode credits roll.
Episode credits
Dun,
roll.
dun, dun.
That was fun. We
Yeah.
got there at the end. It was
this
Yeah.
ended exactly how you would expect like a season finale would go. Like you got the first half, which is like it ends on like a dreadful note, and it's like, what's gonna happen? And then the part 2 comes like, and it's like, yay!
It definitely ended at a perfect note of the show we cannot name in this current playthrough would end. I enjoyed this.
If you enjoyed this episode, first and foremost, this episode brought to you because it's Kharla's birthday. So happy birthday, Kharla!
Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Kharla!
Happy birthday, Kharla!
We love you.
You're the birthday girl.
Yeah, we love you. I love you. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review on our Apple podcast. That really helps us out a lot. Or you could just tell a friend if you enjoyed this episode and recommend it to them. Second, if you want to see teasers, if you want to see art, if you want to make art and send it to us, check out our social media at Trials and Trebs on Instagram and Twitter. we have a Discord server. There's a link to join it in the description of this episode. There's fun discussions about episodes, both bonus and main TNT episodes, the CNC talk shows, everything, and discussions completely unrelated to the podcast as well, that are fun to participate in. Next up would be, we have a Patreon, because if this costs some money to make, we have equipment fees, we have hosting fees, there are actual human
If you love
life
being
fees.
generous, we love being on the receiving end of such generosity.
Yeah. If you like being generous, oh boy howdy, are we here to accept your generosity. But yeah, if you want to support us over there financially, it means the absolute world to us. And then finally, we played, this was For the Honor, a game based on a very wonderful cartoon. I think it's very well done. If you want to play this with your friends, it's awesome. It takes a little bit to get into it, but once you do, I think it's really
learning
fun
curve.
to like. Yeah, there's a learning curve to it. It's almost like, because you're essentially writing an episode, right? And you have to like have that conscious conversation about it all. But it's fun once you get into it. There's some fun stuff here. We didn't even scratch the surface of what you can do. And I would actually really like to return to this game. But thank you to Quinn Vega for designing this game. The link to purchase it and check out their other work is going to be in the description of this episode. And with that, thank you for listening. Happy birthday, Kharla.
Thank you. Happy birthday once
And
again.
I hope that you tune in next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care.